The White House repeatedly saying that it's time for Congress to fix the broken system. With that, we bring in Florida Republican Congressman Michael Waltz. Congressman, great to have you with us today. I want to start with this from moments ago in the White House briefing room. This is the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, when she was asked about these Republican governors transporting migrants to other states. Watch this.
Republican governors interfering in that process and using migrants as political pawns is shameful, is reckless, and just plain wrong. And remember, these are people who are fleeing communism, who are fleeing hardship.
Congressman, welcome. Good to have you with us tonight. What's your reaction to that from the White House just about an hour ago?
Yeah, thanks, Martha. I would say, what is shameful, what is wrong is for the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, to sit before the nation on the Sunday shows and say the border's secure, which is an absolute lie. I mean, anybody with any common sense can see that it's not. And then to say that we're going to go after the root causes by advocating for billions of dollars to go into Central America when we know that the cartels take anywhere from 20 to 30%, the corrupt governments take 20 to 30%, you're actually feeding the problem into a negative spiral that's making it worse. And on the governors, look, this is an issue of fairness, Martha. Why is it fair for all of these border cities, the Uvaldes, the San Antonios, the El Pasos, to have to absorb this crisis, whether it's their hospitals, their schools, their roads or bridges, but all of these cities in Chicago, Martha's Vineyard, Boston, New York shouldn't have to deal with it. This is a basic issue of fairness, and they're feeling just a fraction of the pain that all of our border cities and our border states have been feeling.
Yeah, I'm so struck by the hypocrisy of this whole thing, because these individuals from the border, they've been being sent across the country for a long time. I mean, we spoke back in April to Representative Astorino in New York, and when he was upset about what was going on with planes landing in the middle of the night, none of these same governors said anything. They weren't upset that these planes were going there. Watch Rob Astorino back in April, folks at home.
These secret flights were coming from El Paso and McAllen, Texas, into Westchester County Airport and other regional airports in the dead of night. And I was asking questions. I have a letter that I sent February 1st to the president wanting to know who's coming in, where they're being placed, if there are kids, and some of them are, what schools, who's paying for this. Obviously, we are the taxpayers.
Yeah, so I don't remember representatives from Martha's Vineyard or D.C. or Manhattan, and any of them being upset about this when he was talking about it, Congressman.
Yeah, those are a Biden administration taxpayer-funded contracts with a number of NGOs that are flying these people in the dead of night to all of these same locations. Then it's fine. But if you have Governor DeSantis or Governor Abbott or Governor Ducey doing it in the middle of the day where everyone can see it, then suddenly we're up in arms. We're having a collective political meltdown. The only difference is this is for all of the taxpayers to see rather than sneaking them in. Either way, all of those services that American citizens and legal immigrants deserve are now being taxed by millions and millions and millions of people that we just can't afford to feed and house and clothe the entire world.
And you hear about the sex trafficking and the drugs coming across the border that Bill Melugin reports on every day. I don't see it a lot on other networks. But, what is the vice president doing about those root causes? I mean, it's okay to move people around the country to share the burden, but the bottom line is that you've got hundreds of thousands of gotaways and all these drugs that nobody seems to be doing anything about in Washington.
You know what? You want to get it? You want to get at the root causes? Take on the cartels. This should be at the top of the agenda with China, that's producing the fentanyl. We ought to use military assets after those cartels, by the way, and reinstitute the Remain in Mexico policy while these people wait for their asylum papers. Those are root causes. Instead, we have a massive tractor beam and incentivization mechanism for these people to make this very dangerous journey. And 30 to 40% of the girls making it are sold into human trafficking or sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
That is just a humanitarian crisis, and it's absolutely wrong.
It's one of the most tragically undercovered stories in this whole thing, and we have covered it, and we really want people to continue to shed light on it. I know you have too, because it's atrocious that it's happening in this country. Congressman, thank you. Always great to have you with us.
Thanks, Martha. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.